Okay, so we're going to reflect on my lesson in reading comprehension in my second grade class. This is my mentor, Roseanne Rossi.
Okay, so I watched your video. It was very good. So what were the reasons that you chose the specific strategies that you did choose for teaching comprehension, and why did you choose them instead of other strategies?
Starting off with the music, I thought was a good idea because in the past, every time, whether it's music from a video or me singing some like silly chant or something, I can just say a part of it, hum a part of it, and they like immediately will remember what the lesson was about. So to have some sort of like reference. So 2 weeks from now, if we do another point of view lesson and I start singing that song, they're gonna hopefully remember everything that they learned in that lesson that you just saw. So that was why I used that strategy with music. And then the grouping where they got to talk just from all of the reading that we've been doing in our class, it promotes a lot of that as opposed to so much teacher talk, directly to the kids, to have the kids have that opportunity. I mean, of course, we have to have the direct instructions so that
they understand what you're teaching.
But just trying to increase the opportunities for them to learn from each other.
I did like how you broke them into groups of 3, which fit perfectly with the script that you had.
3 kids.
And so they were all able to read and have a part.
Right. The one thing, and I'm kind of jumping ahead so for an area of improvement, normally when they're in groups and they have to talk about something, I'll have a partner A, partner B, and it could be like shoulder buddies or like face buddies, and I'll usually say, okay, like partner A ask the question and partner B is responding, and I just didn't even think about it for this lesson. I think a lot of it was because I had the 3 as opposed to just the 2.
Right. But you gave them those 30 seconds to choose who they were gonna be, and that seemed to work.
I just thought maybe giving more structure, because I did walk around to try to hear what they were saying.
Oh, okay.
But you can't hear
everything.
You can't hear everything. I just want to make sure I was thinking that way. And you have spoken to me about reciprocal teaching and the roles that kids have when they have those discussions. So just try to make them more accountable and not just throwing, okay, talk.
Oh, okay. Right. So maybe for another lesson, it could be more structured where there is that accountability piece. But this was a good way to at least get their feet wet and give them that opportunity to talk and without feeling the stress of any kind of accountability.
Right. Yeah.
So that was good. Did they? How did they? When they did the independent assessment, the independent work, did all of them get it? Did all of them understand point of view?
So for the independent, they're still, it's like, for this activity, it was still like an ongoing thing.
Okay.
So that guided practice where they were in their groups, I saw all of that. And their independent practice is they get to choose whatever story. But I'm going to have books available, and they're still in the midst of this. Like some of them are choosing to read a story from our anthology, which lends itself well to a character. She's upset because the neighbors are growing flowers in their garden, but hers are it's the cult of ugly vegetables.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be able to pick parts of that if they choose to use that, and then I'll have a handful of other books that they can choose from, because not every book will lend itself to being able to be, if there's not dialogue, I thought that might be a challenge. So they're still having that independent practice, but as far as showing me, demonstrating me, I haven't seen it.
Okay. How do you think how effective was your direct instruction, and why do you think it was effective based on the ideas from the class?
So scaffolding, we've been learning a lot about scaffolding and making sure that, even if it's not time for ELD, like the designated time for ELD, you still need to incorporate strategies so that you're reaching those students.
I saw that you gave them sentence stems
sentence stem, so that would help those
Right.
kids. You know, and then also showing them what I wanted them to produce, what they would be working with at the end, showing them ahead of time so that they know what they're working towards. And then going over vocabulary, you know, for the ELs, and I was able to, you know, do a lot of body, you know, gestures to also convey the meaning of the emotion.
Right. I liked your acting.
Silliness.
No, it was good. It was good modeling so that they could see what you expected of them when they were doing their own.
And then they feed off of that too, because some
Right.
kids are kind of reserved and they're, you know,
Right.
they know
So
what
if
it
they
means,
see
but
you're
they,
gonna be
yeah.
silly,
So we're a big
then-
happy family, so they,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're there already.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you kind of touched on the areas that can be improved and how you might improve them the next time you teach this lesson. Did you already cover that part? Or do you have any
The
other ideas?
partnerings. Yeah, I was thinking that I could also maybe put more thought into the text that I used to model with. I mean, it worked, and I was able to, because it was part of our curriculum, so it was script that was designated for point of view.
Right.
But like we've been reading a lot about being culturally responsive to our students.
Okay.
So maybe I could have really selected something that I knew for sure.
Represent them.
Yeah. So as far as that, maybe that's something I could look for in the future.
And that's it.
Thank you.